Hi, my name is Sub. My name is Sub, and I'm from Harlem, New York. My name is Elijah. Sub is a stage name. My name is Elijah Bullard. So getting into music, I've been around it. I've been around it for my whole life and shit like that. For 100%, like equipment in the crib, all types of shit like that. So actually getting into music was a matter of seeing it and kind of being like, you know what, I wanna try it. I always have records in the crib and shit like that. Obviously, like human experience. You always be in New York, music coming out the radio, family connections. I got family that does a lot of the things we familiar with and try to do right now. So yeah, it's a matter of just stepping up to the environment and seeing what happens. Putting actual, bars together and stringing bars to music and shit like that. I would say that came more as a happenstance. You know what I mean? Making music, I produce first, and then as a kid, they show us poetry, they show us Langston Hughes, they show us Maya Angelou and things like that. I got hooked on that, writing poems and things. Certain friends see me, they see my boy Key, see me motherfucking putting this shit together in class or whatever. You know what I mean? They think I'm writing bars. I'm really just doing my little poetry bag. You know what I mean? But they know I'm making beats. So, all right, let's do a song. Da 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 da. That come up. I end up doing my first actual verse to a track type shit and things like that. So now we here. All right. So the recording process is like I feel like what you getting when you feed into the music and you buy into what I'm doing. That's a big part of it. Is like you know I'm trained in this shit at this point. I can go into the booth and give you one takes, all night. But certain songs, I feel like I put some time in. I put some time into it. I'm in the studio. I'm putting shit together. I'm figuring out how far I can go with things. You know what I mean? And then the room itself. You know what I mean? Whether it's me and the engineer or it's me and a nice gang of people and shit like that. You know what I mean? The vibe just got to be correct. No clowns in the motherfucking studio. Top three inspirations. All right, let's go with one. Definitely Lee Scratch Perry. I don't know if y'all familiar with Lee Scratch Perry and shit. He's I look like I know a little bit about Lee Scratch. Yeah, yeah. Like Lee Scratch is big for me because he come from So usually we just talked about the studio and shit. Usually you don't think of the engineer being the front man and shit like that. So like when Lee Scratch was revolutionizing reggae, he's the reason. He's a big reason why we got people like Bob Marley. You know what I mean? The Wailers, Peter Tosh, and things like that. Like he brought the roots and shit like that into what they was doing back then. They was really it was the 50s and 60s, so it was a lot of doo-wop and you know what I mean. They still was perming their hair and shit like that. So like he brought them back to the motherland a little bit, and then you got somebody who's behind, think of like Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? The way we respect Dr. Dre for being behind the boards and being the producer and things like that, and also being able to step in front of the camera and shit. That's Lee Scratch Perry, 100%. Look him up. That fucking what's the Lucifer top of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of her. Yeah, that's Lee Scratch. So I know everybody heard that. You know what I mean? So bang. And then two would be I'm gonna go Grace Jones. I'm gonna go Grace Jones. Grace Jones is a very very big influence on me for like being yourself and commanding a room and not being afraid to have your voice and your professional voice also be your chaotic voice, and people got to deal with you and you like she's a big reason why I do job interviews. I make sure people know I'm an artist and I'm doing shit like this as well as working for them at the same time. Like we just did the workflow shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see that and like you know what I mean. Don't let these people take your identity and put you in a box, even if you got to work in one. Like, if you an artist, be an artist all the time. That's Grace Jones for me. You know what I mean? And then three, I don't know, three is everybody, humanity, like us. You know what I mean? The human experience and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Not to try to cheat the question or nothing like that, but like, you know what I mean? Family ties, your moms, your pops, you know what I mean? Your friends, everybody you need to connect with to actually, like, you know what I mean? We artists, but that don't mean we gotta be the pain. We are people. You know what I mean? We all need familiar things, and we gotta lean on each other and shit like that. So you know what I mean? I'm gonna just leave it like that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think we all wanna achieve that like routine, that kind of routine where you get time to yourself, but you put in energy towards where it needs to be, and you getting certain outcomes. Like not everybody is necessarily trying to sell records and be the next one. Or we know what's out there, so we know what game we playing this shit. But like, you know what I mean? Like to tie it into to the collab shit. Like I feel like a big part of why I do what I do is one because I get confirmation from the people for that third answer from the last joint. I get that confirmation from people. They tell me, yo, keep going, keep doing this. Yo, bars I don't even remember. They remember joints that I forget. So like hearing that and then wanting to work with certain people that I like growing up as a kid and shit like that. Like now that I found my place in this game, I'm fuck it. I want to be on the Knicks, nigga. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's get it together. You know what I mean? And like slowly and surely, I think as an artist, no matter how you know what that path is on and where it goes, like I think just recognize anything you do. Especially if you're in a city like this, people see what you're doing. You know what I mean? You don't gotta just motherfucking make shit happen, B. Check those boxes off as they come. That's it. Sub is short for subwoofer. Like, I never really gave myself an artist name. I happen to be in a program called Impact. If y'all look that up, called Impact Theater, coming up as a kid and shit. And like, they honestly probably one of the first people to give me a microphone. So like, they run. It's for kids and shit, like teens, kids, up until like I want to say, as an initiate, the oldest you'll probably be is like 17. You know what I mean? But like, they give everybody dog tags and a little nickname and shit like that. And you know what I mean? So they ended up giving me the shit subwoofer. I started finding more confidence to rap and shit, and then I ran with it, shortened it. I don't know if y'all fuck with the clips. They call me subwoofer because I pump bass just like that. You know what I mean? So it's hip hoppy. So I fucked with it and I just kept it going. Like, you know, maybe we'll come up with some other shit. I always come up with silly shit all the time. So. But yeah, what I could tell myself is what the fuck I know. You know what I mean? What is going on? What is the future? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? What the hell happened? You know what I mean? Like, I definitely would need the lowdown, 100%. You know, that's what we would be chopping it up about. Cause I don't think it would be so much about affecting things, but yeah, knowing myself, I just would need the scoop. Success for sub is finding solutions. Definitely. Success for sub is finding solutions to like anything. Whatever we got going on, you know what I mean? Good, bad, and indifferent. Like I think there's obviously monetary success, there's artistic success and everything like that. But like me, it's about, especially when it comes my way and people that I love and shit like that, it's about figuring it out. You know what I mean? That's it. What I'm working on right now is kind of like, I've been describing it as a genre amongst itself. Like I'm creating my own little genre of things. So it's called Daze, and the project that's out right now is Daze HERO. You know what I mean? You could the Instagram is sb.dxe hero. You know what I mean? Subworldwide.net is the website. You can check it out. I got a lot of shit that's just going to end up being there. If anybody's ever curious about anything, they can find that. And then the type of shit I'm working on is basically like it happens to be the 10-year anniversary of like one of my favorite mixtapes I ever did and shit like that. So I'm playing around with that and like just embracing the reality of things and checking out what's next for myself. You know what I mean? I'm in good places, and I'm gonna fucking make it happen. I got a show May 29th. You know what I mean? Over at the Delancey. I'm gonna be hitting the streets, just motherfucking getting at it. You know what I mean? Like I think my overall thing is trying to bring rap to a certain art form that's interpersonal. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be out here really like playing with the city, playing with the environment, trying to touch people in a different way. You know what I mean? So I bet Daze HERO, B. Daze HERO 2. I'm the one. Peace.